It's a balmy Wednesday evening here in Jacksonville as the Jacksonville Armada look to keep pace in the wide-open Gulf Coast Conference as they welcome conference rivals Tallahassee SC for a midweek tussle in the River City. Good evening and welcome to Hodges Stadium on the campus of the University of North Florida here in Jacksonville. My name's Mike Jenkins and my colleague tonight is the one, the only, Stuart Weber. Jacksonville returns to the First Coast after a tough road trip to New Orleans where the Armada fell to the Jesters by a score of 2-1. That loss, which was the Fleet's last game, was 18 days ago. Since then, other results have occurred in the conference, and the results have made this conference race very, very tight. Southern States SC sits on top of the conference with 14 points. New Orleans sits second at 10 points. Tonight's opponent, Tallahassee, sits third with 10 points. And the Armada's loss to New Orleans in their last match leaves the Fleet in fourth place at 8 points for the season. This makes every match increasingly important for the rest of the season. And granted, the boys in blue have 2 games in hands on Southern State and a game in hand on Tallahassee, but you have to win those games to finish where the Armada are used to finishing. Stuart, the Armada for the first time in a few seasons find themselves in a precarious position in the standings. For the last few seasons, Jacksonville's comfortably won the division, and this year it's a dogfight. 4 teams within 2 points of the lead after 5 matches.
Yeah, quirky schedule this year if you're talking about how the games have kind of been spaced out. A 2.5-week break in the middle of the season. I mean, they've 5 matches down, 5 to go. If you're talking about a team that really didn't have that much of a build-up before its first match, you can almost reset, right? You act like this is the start of your season, but it's a 5-game sprint, and you need to get as close to 15 points as you possibly can from those 5.
As we look at the Armada starting lineup this evening, they're going to come out in the usual 3-4-3 formation. Jason Dubrovich begins in net for the boys in blue. He's joined in defense by Arton Redmore on the left, Miles Shanley in the center, and Alex Smith on the right. Cole Reasonover will start at left wing back. Mason Tunbridge, Teddy West will man the middle of the midfield, and Richard Thompson will start on the right at wing back. Up front, Giovanni Vaccaro starts at left wing. Angus Taylor is the striker up top, and Eduardo Coimbra will cause chaos on the right wing for Jacksonville. For Tallahassee, they begin in a 5-2-3 formation. Mark Quadio is in net tonight for Tallahassee. Bilal Mahabi is at wingback on the left-hand side. Trice Smith, Alejandro Padilla, and Mark Ryan Lesher will man the middle of the defense for Tallahassee. The right wingback will be Alex Thompson. Gaku Nishimura and Kevin Lowe will man the midfield for Tallahassee. And up front, John Fitzgerald, Trent Blake, and Stafford Dowling will be the attacking players for Tallahassee. Tallahassee, coached by Joel Takastri, had a very good season so far for the boys from the capital city. They are in third place and in command of their own destiny, sitting with 10 points, looking to put a marker down for the rest of the season tonight in Jacksonville.
Yeah, just a tremendous turnaround for this club from where they were a year ago to where they are now. All credit to their coaching staff and bringing in the players to get it done. Once again, for second straight year, Jacksonville went out to Tallahassee and earned a draw in that opening match. And we'll see if the return match does the same as it did a year ago, where obviously Jacksonville picked up a win, considering they won every game but that opening draw 1 year ago. So certainly some interesting things to watch this evening. Back at UNF's Hodges Stadium, what difference does that make for the team compared to playing at Bishop Kenny for the first two home matches of this really truncated NPSL season? It's very, very short. It's one of those things where, you lose a couple teams out of your conference, and that season just gets so much shorter, down to just a 10-match season. Last year it was 14. So you really have to put that much more emphasis on each and every match through the course of the season, as we are officially underway at Hodges Stadium.
Ball's played downfield by Tallahassee, headed out by Alex Smith for the Armada. Only as far as Kevin Lowe, the leading goal scorer for Tallahassee, as he looks to play it up the field and plays it out of bounds. Tallahassee really led by two goal scorers for them this season. That would be number 10, Stafford Dowling, and number 6, Kevin Lowe, both of them with 4 goals apiece so far for Tallahassee. Here's Teddy West for the Armada. Ball is challenged, and it goes out of bounds off of West. It will be a throw-in for Tallahassee.
One thing to note for this Jacksonville team as they acclimate to their home field for the rest of the season, they're obviously familiar with it. This is where the U.S. Open Cup was contested earlier this year. It's also where the team is now practicing. Beyond the grass field that you can see on the broadcast is a turf field, which is where they've been practicing in the evenings here at UNF to get that work in, and in fact played a friendly there on Monday night. We'll talk more about that a little later on in the broadcast, what a cool story that is. But yeah, so they have played on this field plenty of times. It is a gorgeous facility. It hosts top-level elite track and field. Here's the turnover.
Here's Vaccaro for the Armada, taking on the defense and cannot beat Nishimura, who steals it, finds Fitzgerald, and now Lowe. Back to Lowe. Pass it back. This is Lesher. All the way back to the keeper, Quadio, for Tallahassee. In gold tonight, the Armada in blue, playing left to right on your television set or laptop as you watch it.
I hope people are casting it. That's one of the benefits of YouTube, man. You hit that little Chromecast button and send it on in. Love that.
Here's Nishimura for Tallahassee. Fitzgerald. Here's Dowling. Loses it to Shanley for Jacksonville, who plays it out. Here's Thompson using his speed to get to it for Jacksonville. Cuts it back infield. Thompson will slow it down, play it back for West. Back to Alex Smith for the Armada. Here's West as the Armada play it back. Smith, the Georgia Southern product, looking upfield. Finds Coimbra. Plays it out to Thompson. Ball's lost, turned over. That's Trice Smith, who looks to play it ahead, and West will put it out of play for Jacksonville.
Talked about that friendly on Monday. For Jacksonville, they use it as kind of 3 separate 30-minute sessions. testing out some lineups, testing out some combinations, and some of what you see here on the field this evening is a result of those tests and that work together, especially if you're looking up top. I mean, the combination of Coimbra and Vaccaro up top was deadly on Monday night. Now, granted, they're both really good players, so you would expect that, and you would expect them to be the focal point of the offense here for Tommy Kruzanovich's club.
There's Dowling for Tallahassee, plays it over to the wing, and it's taken by Cole Reason over for the Armada, looking to start the counter. Ball's taken away by Tallahassee, but only played out of bounds near midfield, and the Armada will have the throw-in. Looks like the Armada are going to have to play quick on that counter to try to catch Tallahassee out. Tallahassee playing kind of 5 at the back. When they get up the field, you'll look for the Armada to attack using Coimbra and Vaccaro and their speed, which is their greatest asset.
Yeah, Coach wasn't being coy about that in conversations before the match. Look, they understand that, you know, they need to play that style of game here tonight against Jacksonville and be defensive, take advantage of their opportunities, and we'll certainly see that. As you mentioned, it's up to Jacksonville, and this is a case that's been the case for a couple of years now. Figure out how to break it, right? Figure out how to get through that strong back line and go score some goals, because you're gonna need the 3 points in this matchup if you want to seriously that to you.
Yeah. I'll do my best, my friend. Here's the corner. Far post. Alex Smith for the Armada heads it out. Stopped by Tallahassee. He's going to play it wide. Looked like it was kept in play, but low. Correction,
Nishimura. Yeah.
Tries to keep it in and is unable to do so, and it's going to be a Armada goal kick.
Yeah, and that was a good job there by Mason Tunbridge. He's a strong, tall, physical guy, and that's exactly what he needed to use was that skill set. Really, right there in the 18, battling for a ball on that set piece.
I haven't called his name much tonight at all so far. Hey, he's a vital cog of what the Armada do in the center of the field. And, Tunbridge is going to have to be really involved tonight if the Armada are planning on taking all 3 points.
He was one of the folks I was able to chat with after Monday night's friendly, and we could talk about that a little bit. It was a friendly against a crew from the HMS Dauntless, which is a naval destroyer, a British naval destroyer that had just come over across the Atlantic. It's docked in Mayport, and its sailors came over and had a chance to get a little work in as that goes out and sets up another corner kick.
A little miscommunication there by Dubrovich and Archon Redmore. Dubrovich was expected to come to that ball by Redmore. He didn't, and Redmore was too late to try to save that ball. It's going to result in another Tallahassee corner kick. Here is Nishimura over to take it for Tallahassee.
So a couple good early chances in the first 10 minutes for Tallahassee. As the road team, you need to take advantage of these sort of situations when you have that set piece.
Here's the corner by Nishimura. Short post, deflected out, and now here comes Jacksonville on the counterattack. This is Eduardo Coimbra running up the left side of the field. Looking for a runner. Finds Angus Taylor. He's one-on-one with the keeper. Taylor dribbles around the keeper, shoots! Jacksonville! Angus Taylor in the 10th minute for Jacksonville. His 3rd of the season, giving the Armada the early 1-0 lead.
You and I talked about this before the match, and Beef, as they call him, had to get in the back of the net, and Angus Taylor does just that. You have to take advantage of having 2 studs on the outside, drawing all that attention away from you in Giancarlo Vaccaro and Eduardo Coimbra. Those 2 guys are going to draw so many eyes, and what a job by Coimbra to really work his way down the field, keep that defender on skates, not allow him to get set, and then perfectly feed the ball to Taylor behind the defense. All he's got to do is beat the keeper, does a little one-step, and puts it in the back of the net.
I also think you have to mention the unsung run by Vaccaro there across the play to draw that defender across. He pulled him enough over to where that ball was through on Taylor, and he had one-on-one with the keeper. Taylor, who's had a little bit of a struggle getting it done for the Armada so far this season and missing some key opportunities, finally gets it done to give the Armada a 1-0 lead. Here's Dowling for Tallahassee. Dowling's going to cross it, looking for number 13. Trent Blake can't find him. That ball's going to roll out, and it's going to be an Armada goal kick.
Good job there by Tallahassee to counter. You always are worried about those first 5 minutes after a goal, even so early in the match. I mean, we're only in the 12th minute, but that's usually when you let your guard down right after you score a nice goal and you're feeling good about yourself. Well, Tallahassee did a good job. They had a nice little 3-on-3 break, tried to work it down the field, and just couldn't set something up in order to equalize here early.
Armada trying to play it out of the back, gets played back to Dubrovich. Dubrowic's going to play it out wide. That's Smith. Chesting it to Thompson. Played over the top for Coimbra. Coimbra overruns it, but is able to play it back. But Nishimura there for Tallahassee to get enough of a challenge in to have that ball roll back to the keeper, Claudio, who rolls it out, and that's Lesher. Nishimura looking for Dowling. Dowling plays it forward. They were looking for Blake there. Couldn't find him. Ball goes back to Dubrovich, who plays it out wide to Reasonova.
That last sequence there for Jacksonville as they pushed forward was a really nice job as you have a Tallahassee player down inside the center circle. They'll bring on the trainer here to check on him. But to finish that thought, the movement down the field there for Jacksonville was a really good job of knowing the familiarity with your teammates, right? You talk about Alex Smith, knowing he's got somebody on him. He's getting told by his teammates around him, hey, man, coming right at you. And he's able to just chest that thing on to the next guy, and then on to the next guy, as Thompson then pushes it even further forward. So a nice job there to really get out of trouble deep, in your own possession, and then work that ball down the field using your teammates.
Looks like the injured player down for Tallahassee might be number 6, Kevin Lowe. I don't see him on the sideline. That would be a big blow to Tallahassee if it is low. Can't see a number. We'll get that to you in a second. He stayed down after the challenge at midfield, and that ball ended up rolling back to Quadio, and he didn't get up. So trainers are out to help Lowe out. Lowe's hobbling it off. He's going to have to come off at least for a few seconds here before he's able to run back on as the trainers went out to take care of him. Nice to see him get up and hobble it off. Hopefully he's able to continue.
Yeah, and you have to mention just how much of a brutal stretch that Tallahassee is in right now. I don't know who angered somebody at the NPSL scheduling office, but to put 3 straight road games at the 3 best teams in the conference in what was 8-day span turns into a 7-day span is bananas. It's bananas. They were supposed to play Southern State Saturday. That's way out in Mississippi. That game gets pushed back to Sunday. Here on a Wednesday night, and then Saturday in New Orleans.
Which is, as we've seen, is no easy place to play.
Yeah, Jacksonville just lost there.
Yeah, as the Armada just dropped a 2-1 contest against New Orleans. So, yeah, that's brutal scheduling. You know, that's one of those where if you're the coach for Tallahassee, you're rallying the wagons, saying we get through these 3 games with this many points, we're in really good shape moving forward, and they got that come from behind draw. Here's Reasonover, plays it across. That's Taylor who puts it in the net, but the far side referee, the assistant referee, had his flag up for offsides. Interesting to see that one on replay. Looked like Reasonover might have been off on the near side, but looked like there was a Tallahassee defender maybe holding him on the far side. Assistant referee didn't think so. Free kick for Tallahassee as they try to play it over the top here. Redmore's going to head it back to Tunbridge. Tunbridge back to Shanley, and the Armada back in control. Yeah, Tallahassee showed some gumption coming back from multiple deficits or 2-0 deficit down in Mississippi this past weekend, specifically after being rained out on a Saturday night and having to come back Sunday morning to play it. That was a very good result for them.
Might have been 3-0.
In the Oaks down in Mississippi. Here's Reasonover looking to cross, cleared out by Lesher. Correction, that's Padilla. Back out to Tunbridge at midfield. Tunbridge trying to play it over the top, finds Coimbra. Flag goes up for Coimbra. That's going to be offside. And a Tallahassee free kick.
It was 2. You're right. I'm thinking of another match that was 3-0 and then came back to 3-3, I think.
Any result you can get at Southern States is quality.
No doubt.
They've proven to be one of the best teams in the conference year after year after year, finishing second the last 2 years to Jacksonville. I think it's interesting to see how Jacksonville's going to react to this, being in 4th place at this point of the season and not having kind of those early points in the bag to where they were in control in the last 2 seasons. I thought this game tonight would be very interesting. A confident Tallahassee team coming to Jacksonville, but they got exactly what they were hoping for, which was the early goal to set the tone here at Hodges.
Make no mistake, despite really running away with the conference a year ago in the regular season, it was still, a couple games to go, and you needed to win those things. So to be at a point here halfway through the season, and you only won 2 out of 5, certainly shows what Jacksonville needs to do to make up that ground. And they have that opportunity. Like you said, they got games in hand on some of those top teams in the standings, and you take that advantage and work your way back into this thing.
Thompson throws it in down on the wing here for Dowling. Reasonover checks him, plays the ball out of bounds. It will be a Tallahassee throwing deep in Armada territory. Got their kind of Lakers colors going, purple and gold out there for the Tallahassee squad this evening.
Yeah, the warm-up shirts in a little purple, like that.
Old school LA Kings. This ball's thrown into the box. Played out by Redmore. Here's Vaccaro. Tries to play it by a defender and can't. Here comes Tallahassee. Nishimura plays it for Trent Blake. Dispossessed by Teddy West, who keeps control and then is tripped up by Fitzgerald. Correction by Nishimura. That's going to be an Armada free kick. Nice play there by Teddy West. Stepping in and getting control of that ball.
Yeah, and in a crucial part of the field, too. Just inside the defending third for Jacksonville. You don't want to give up the ball at that point to Tallahassee. as we get a run from Angus Taylor.
Taylor trying to get around Padilla there. Padilla very nicely comes in possession of that ball, shrugging off the challenge of Taylor. And here comes Tallahassee trying to counter the other way. Alex Smith steps in for the Armada. Coimbra tries to clear, played off. Bilal Bahubi. First time we called his name tonight on that far wing. Here's Vaccaro. Had a runner in Coimbra, but decides to play it out to Thompson. Thompson sets up, plays it back for West. Here's Tundridge. Tundridge, Coimbra, off the defender Padilla, rolling back to the keeper Quadio for Tallahassee.
Got to say, I really appreciated some of the without the ball movement from that front three for Jacksonville on that set. Those guys were zigging and zagging, confusing the defenders, maybe confusing themselves a little bit as you try that little touch pass and hope somebody's gotten behind the defense at the same time. But nonetheless, you like to see that movement without the ball and make yourself available for your teammates and do what you can there.
Foul called there on Tallahassee. That's Redmore down for the Armada. Looking to see who the foul was on from Tallahassee. Looks like it may be Alex Thompson. Correction. I see Thompson in the back four right now. That is Stafford Dowling with pink boots on, who undercut Redmore as he was trying to head it out. Redmore held back to his feet. Play will continue with an Armada free kick.
Good to see the 6'3" Australian back up on his feet. You like the size advantage of this back line for Jacksonville with Redmore there on the near side. Shanley not as tall, but certainly a stalwart guy right in the middle. Not many people are as tall as 6'3" Redmore. And then you got Alex Smith, another 6-footer out there on the right side as well. So you like that size, and we saw a little speed from Smith on that last break for Tallahassee too. Had no problem getting himself back into position to defuse that offensive attack for the Lions.
That right side moves for the Armada with Thompson up there as well, who absolutely flies.
As he takes this ball from Taylor, keeps it in.
Thompson tries to nutmeg the Tallahassee defender and succeeds. Ball's back to Thompson. It's going to be whistled for a foul on Tallahassee right outside the box.
All right, interesting spot here. You wonder, is this an opportunity to maybe try and curve one in? You're right outside the 18. You got some players who are certainly capable of putting their boot on it like that. I will say, if you haven't seen the Armada Instagram video of Giancarlo Vaccaro from Monday night, do yourself a favor at halftime when you're not watching us beautifully describe this game. Go check it out on Instagram and report back to us, because it was a dandy. Let's just say that.
Standing over it for the Armada. As you said, they have size advantage for some of these guys that they can bring out. Shanley's, the Red, Tom Bridges. Coimbra shoots right at the keeper. Quadio is able to handle it relatively easily for Tallahassee. Opportunity there for the Armada, not cashed in. As Tallahassee looks to play it out. Coimbra pressures. It's going to go all the way out for a Tallahassee goal kick. Smart play by the defender on that side, Lesher, to let that roll out. Correction. That's Smith, number 5. Again, the jersey numbers, they all kind of look alike, so I'm trying to get them to you. Apologies.
By the way, shout out to Andy Redmore, watching from Melbourne, Australia. Going to go out on a limb and say he's related to Ayrton Redmore. Just going out on a limb here.
Long lost brother?
I'm not sure. Some family member?
Yeah. It's awesome. It's awesome. Around the world, we have the ability to get these games to folks whose kids or brothers or cousins are playing halfway across the world. And it's awesome. We're able to keep following, watching, listening to Stuart Weber.
By the way, you called me the one and only, and I love that, but I'm not. And if there's any fans of Norwich City watching me this evening, they'll know that I'm not the one and only Stuart Weber, because their sporting director is also Stuart Weber, spelled the exact same way as me.
The only American?
I'll go with that.
Okay, I'll have to rehash that for the next broadcast on Saturday.
Like that a lot.
Here's Vaccaro for the Armada. Tries to play it off. Alex Thompson there. He's able to keep it in. Lesher plays it back to Quadio. Clears it out only as far as it looks like Tunbridge is going to head it back forward. Lesher plays it for Lowe. Over to Thompson. Back to Lesher, now to Thompson.
I was getting into Tunbridge's story a little bit from Monday earlier in the broadcast. He is from London, and for him to get the opportunity to play against some of his countrymen and countrymen who were serving his country in the Navy, the British Royal Navy, he was really, really introspective on that and able to speak just to how cool it is for him to have that opportunity with some of the folks that are letting his family, his people in England live the way they want to, just the way we respect our military here in the United States. So it was really cool to kind of see him have that perspective on it and to get to play some minutes against those guys, to chop it up after the match, to really discuss what it's like to be a member of the Navy, but also get to play some soccer in between when you're stopping, say, in Jacksonville, Florida, at Naval Station Mayport. It was really cool. I believe we have a few of the sailors in attendance here this evening. There may be a halftime ceremony as well for that. But just what a great Monday night that was to see those folks. And it wasn't just the players. They had another 30 or so members of the crew who came out and were sitting in the bleachers and just having a good time watching their fellow sailors play a little soccer here against the Armada. And what I dubbed the Battle of the Boats, as the Armada took on a literal fleet, the fleet versus the fleet. So really, really enjoyed being able to come out here for that little friendly. First international friendly, by the way, for the Armada, I think since Boca Juniors. Way back when, in the NASL days. That was a while ago.
What a story. I mean, that's so cool. That's one of the cool things about soccer, it being the world's game. You have a team that comes from a ship who's here on exercises at Mayport and is able to... Armada trying to get through there to Vaccaro. Passed a little bit far by Tunbridge. Another opportunity for the Armada to potentially cash in a second.
Yeah, Alex Smith did a really good job working that ball down the field. Mason Tunbridge just a bit heavy on the touch there.
Just an unbelievable opportunity for our guys to be able to talk to some of these guys and kind of ham it up with them in a very fun setting. What an unbelievable job by Nathan Walter in the front office, kind of setting that up. And yeah, allegedly there's supposed to be 50 or 60 guys here tonight. We're supposed to make it at some point to watch the game. It's kind of a nice night out for those guys that are docked at Mayport. They can get off base, they can go eat, they can go hang out, watch some soccer. Great opportunity for them and for the Armada.
Yeah, the guys and gals from the HMS Dauntless were terrific. They were cool to talk to. The captain was even there on Monday night, so that was nice. And speaking to them afterwards, they understood how nice it was to be out here and enjoy what was a very humid night, especially for them, getting used to Northeast Florida. But to chat with them just about being here in Jacksonville and getting that opportunity was nice.
Here comes Tallahassee, and this is Fitzgerald. He's looking for Dowling. Instead, plays for Thompson. Thompson crosses it, looking for Dowling. Nice play by Dubrovich to clear it. The Armada will be able to clear it out of bounds. That was Redmore. He was able to clear it outside of the 18-yard box. Nice play by Dubrovich to get his hands to that ball. As Dowling came sliding in, almost putting that one in the back of the net.
Yeah, hands on the head for Dowling afterwards because he knows what an opportunity missed that will be for Tallahassee in the 26th minute to get that chance right inside the 18. You're going to want that one back.
It's the second time the Armada's caught Padilla a little bit in possession in the back. Taylor putting a lot of pressure on them. Padilla gets the foul called that time, but it's something to watch as the game goes on. Here's Lowe. Correction, Nishimura. Finds Fitzgerald. Has a runner. Thompson tries to get there first. Smith gets the ball back to Dubrovich. Obviously not a pass there. Deflection back to Dubrovich, who's able to collect. He did get the ball there, it looked like, and therefore avoided the penalty call in the box. Nice play by both Smith and Thompson to be involved in stopping that run on the far side from the Hoobie.
Yeah, well diffused, but anytime you get that contact inside the 18, you kind of hold your breath a little bit. And so far, our head official has allowed this to be a pretty physical matchup, so I wouldn't expect to see a call in that situation, and there was not one. By the way, quick update from the YouTube chat. Shout out to everybody who's contributing there. Andy is Erica's dad.
Nice.
So appreciate you listening. And James Watson says, I am the only true legend. There can only be one. So, hey, James, appreciate it. We appreciate having everyone watch here with us on the YouTube stream. And big thanks to our folks at Gemstone Media for helping put this thing together. They do such such a great job here in Jacksonville.
A shout out to Bowery Orthopedic, too, our primary sponsor this season for the Armada. As Tallahassee gets in the box, shoots, deflected out by Shanley, and eventually cleared by Smith. That will be a Tallahassee throw-in. Tallahassee knocking on the door multiple times in the last few minutes.
Well, that was not a fun situation there for Shanley to be in with that ball coming in at full force. Very good opportunity for Tallahassee to try and equalize in the 29th.
Dowling tries to turn, goes over the end line. That's going to be a goal kick for the Armada. Dowling has shown the proper mentality tonight. He's making runs. He's quick. He has the wherewithal, it looks like, to cause problems for that back line all evening. And that's what Tallahassee does. They are dogged and determined. And while they might not be the biggest team in the world, you don't have to be in soccer. It's one of the great things about this game. You know, they are determined. They fight till the very end. You can see how many times they've come back from deficits all season. Now, this is going to be a 90-minute tussle with these guys. Coming back from 2 goals, coming back from 3 goals earlier this year. This is going to be a dogfight for the next 60-plus minutes.
You're willing to say the heart of a lion?
Not yet.
No?
Not yet. They got to get one before I give them that.
I mean, it's on their crest. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. I get it.
Got a big cat there.
Tallahassee dispossesses the Armada again. Smith plays it back to Padilla. Back to Smith. Fires it up to Mahubi. Tries to play 1-2 with Fitzgerald. Thompson's going to win that header, but a foul is going to be whistled on Mahubi, and it's going to be a Tallahassee free kick.
So Jacksonville has another 15 minutes here in this first half to really dictate the way this game is going to play, right? If you're able to maybe gain a little control here, gain a little possession, which is something Tallahassee's had a lot of in this match, which is opposite of what Jacksonville usually has. You know, usually they're the possession team. But in this case, Tallahassee has done a really good job with being able to possess the ball. So if you're Jacksonville and you can kind of impose your will here in these final 15 minutes, I mean, shoot, love a second, obviously. You'd always love a second. That one goal lead is so perilous in this sport. But I think this next 15 will go a long way in determining the match.
Shot from Tallahassee, knocked down by Shanley. In the box, dangerous moments for the Armada. Pass across. Here's a shot by Dowling. He doesn't get much on it, and now here are the Armada on the counter. 2-on-4. Plays it out wide for Taylor. Taylor 1-on-1. Cuts to the center. Plays it back for Tunbridge. Shoots. Scuffs his mark and sends that ball over. That'll be a Tallahassee goal kick.
What might be even more impressive about that Tallahassee attack is, you said it, when Jacksonville got that break the other way, it was still a 2-on-4. So they were doing all that with only 6 guys up front for Tallahassee. So that really speaks to how well they were moving the ball and positioning their players to still have a strong back line to defend.
Mahubi plays it down for Blake. Blake 1-on-1 with Shanley. More men coming in the box for Tallahassee. Blake tries to beat Shanley. Dubrovich slow to react to it. Ball can't be passed to Thompson. It goes off the back of his heel, and now Mahubi is going to cross it. Cleared out by Smith. Jacksonville perilously in danger here. Finally cleared by Tunbridge, and now here we go again with the Armada on a counter. Here's Vaccaro.
A little 4-on-5 for Jacksonville.
1-on-2. Cuts it back. Plays it for Coimbra. Stepped in on that side by number 5, Trice Smith, and the ball is going to go back to Quadio, who's going to throw it out wide for Tallahassee.
As much as we've complimented that front three, in that situation, really would have loved to see them get Colt Reasonover involved on that near side, making that run and adding to those numbers, just because you really had so many of those gold jerseys back for Tallahassee.
Lots of space here for Thompson for Tallahassee. Tunbridge comes over, tries to take it and does. No foul whistle. Ball's played up for Vaccaro, played too far. Tallahassee keeps it in. That'll be Lesher. This is Lowe. Has time, steps on the ball, surveys his options. Nishimura back to Lowe. Tallahassee tries to find a way through this Armada defense. Here's Smith. Plays it back to Padilla. Padilla quickly plays it to Lowe. Plays it back for Lesher. All the way back to Quadio for Tallahassee. Pressured, Quadio plays it up to midfield. It's going to be a Armada header back towards Tallahassee goal. But here comes Tallahassee, and there's Dowling. Looking long down the wing. Was looking for Fitzgerald. Dubrovich goes on last minute. Is Richard Thompson with a careless back pass. Almost cost the Armada. Dubrovich saves the day for Jacksonville. Ball's played all the way across the field to Reasonover, who misses on his header. And that ball's going to be kept in by Reasonover and played long. Lesher on it for Tallahassee. Quadio to Lowe. Nishimura back to Padilla. Tallahassee once again retains possession. Here's Smith. Playing it long over the top. It's Mahubi against Thompson. This time Dubrovich comes out early. Lets that ball get into the box. And calmly collects it.
As we continue to shout out the folks on the YouTube stream, the TVs at Tabula Rasa Brewery here in Jacksonville have the game on. So appreciate you guys there up in the Springfield area. I believe pretty 99% sure that's where you guys are. If I'm not, you can be mad at me. But shout out to them for having the game on here this evening and supporting your Jacksonville Armada.
Very nice establishment up there, and glad that they're watching. Here's Tunbridge. Coimbra. Back to Tunbridge. Gonna play it long. Looking for Reasonover. He's gonna try to get to this one before it gets out of bounds. Can't get there. Be a Tallahassee throwing deep in their own territory.
It's interesting. That's a ball that would absolutely be out of reach at Bishop Kenny, the first two home games of the year, where they have that kind of crested surface, middle of the field pops up. Here at UNF, you don't have that.
Tunbridge looking across it, looking for Coimbra. Coimbra darted in and then darted out. Tunbridge was trying to cross it for the dart in. Goes right to Quadio, who collects it nicely for Tallahassee.
And I kind of get the feeling that some of these players are maybe anticipating the ball to run the way it did in those other home matches. But it'll just keep going here on this one at UNF's Hodges Stadium. So certainly something to watch here as we continue to roll on.
Redmore wins that header. Thompson's going to put it in. Dubrovich plays it out off of the Tallahassee forward.
Blake
That's
took
Trent
that one.
Blake.
Yeah,
Took it right
took that one
upside
right
the
to the
head.
head. Yeah, that's not intentional by any means, but his ears might be ringing here for a minute.
Yeah, Dubrovich has had to be pretty active for the last 10 minutes or so, coming out of his box, trying to get to balls as Tallahassee's, in these forays, is putting through balls through the channels. Dubrovich has been pretty good so far this evening, although there have been times, a couple times already, where communication is broken down or the execution on Thompson's back pass, for example, broke down that Dubrovich had to be on his A game. So the ball goes back to him for the Armada. Clear it long, looking for Coimbra. Headed back by Smith. West wins it for the Armada. Tunbridge going to come into possession.
Those are some of the clearances from the keep there that we're not used to seeing really from Jacksonville. It tends to be that slower build from the back as opposed to that long ball in. So Dubrovich certainly a different keeper, right? As you get a turnover here in the middle of the field by Jacksonville.
Tunbridge with the turnover. Now trouble for the Armada. Shanley cleans up, though. Stops Blake from getting in on Dubrovich. Intercepts that ball, and the Armada play it out. Here's Redmore.
Yeah, having a veteran like Miles back there is so helpful for this back line. Just that composure to take his time as you get another through ball for Vaccaro, chasing it down the near side.
Acres of space for Vaccaro out there on the left as he now looks in, trying to pick a pass. And he does. Cleared out by Padilla for Tallahassee. Last-minute intervention gives the Armada a corner kick.
Yeah, he needed that intervention, too, just with Angus making that run right inside the 6. And that was maybe a yard or two to the near side of the post. So really good opportunity there created by Giancarlo Vaccaro to chase that down and then get across into his teammate Angus.
Lots of long passes towards the corners here at Hodges, as you said, Stuart, will stay in bounds here. They
Yeah.
don't go out of bounds like they did at Kenny, and that's given those front two guys on the wings for the Armada tons of space. Here's the corner, played out for Coimbra. Coimbra's going to cross at far post, too far, out of play. That will be a Tallahassee goal kick.
That ball would be in the St. Johns River, by the way, if we were at the other home field. So we don't have to worry about any balls in the water at this one. But we also don't have any nautical viewers, unless somebody is watching YouTube on their boat, in which case.
Or is in the pond down there.
Oh, that is a pond. I don't think you want to go in that pond, though.
Here comes Tallahassee again, ball over the top. This is Blake for Tallahassee. Cuts it across. Redmore comes back last second. Intervention for the Armada. Plays it out of bounds. Nice play by the big Australian to clear it out for Jacksonville.
God, really put Dubrovic in a tough spot there, deciding whether or not to come for the ball. And that's on his 6-yard line, so that's maybe one you want to see your keep come out and grab. But luckily, Redmore able to clear it out, and Jacksonville stays alive. 39th minute now, still 1-0.
Tell you what, these guys have already put a ton of mileage on their legs tonight. And there's so much running going on in this first half that these guys are going to have to get in at halftime and take a serious look at fitness levels to make sure that even though it's not necessarily blazing hot tonight, it's still humid. It's still probably in the high 70s, low 80s, and they are doing a ton of running both sides tonight with these long passes through the channels.
It was like 90-something when I asked Alexa what the temperature was leaving the house. So warm day nonetheless in Jacksonville. One of an interesting sky this evening, kind of gray, but we really haven't had any threat of weather. Knock on wood. We hope that stays the way it is. You hope that the skies didn't ward away any of the fans, because Jacksonville very much a walk-up city when it comes to fans and their sporting events, and we do have a nice crowd here at Hodges Stadium. A big shout-out to everybody coming out in person to see this team on a Wednesday night, on a school night. There's no school tomorrow, but on a camp night. I don't know how people have summer camp tomorrow.
Yeah.
The
summer
kids.
School.
Summer
Camp.
Yeah, all those things that the kids have with the life.
Daycare.
The things and the stuff. Yeah. Of course, if you are watching at home and want to see this in action, come on out Saturday. We'll have another home match coming up Saturday night against Roots. So it should be another good one to come check out your Armada in action. And as always, tickets are free. Just go online and register as Mason Tunbridge comes through the middle.
Nice play there by Smith to slide in, prevent Tunbridge from running through the defense. Here comes Tallahassee. This is Thompson. Plays it back for Lowe. Nishimura plays it out wide. This Blake plays it back for Smith, who plays it in, and Dubrovic comes out, bobbles it, but is able to collect for the Armada. Nice run there by Tallahassee, causing Dubrovic some concerns. That was Dowling running in right across Dubrovic's face, but Dubrovic was able to collect.
I think Dubrovic might have heard us there that last time, asking him to be a little more assertive and come off the line. I think he did that there.
And he's had to be active tonight. I mean, he's been out of his box 8, 9, 10 times already, trying to get to balls that they're playing over the top or through the channel. So Dubrovic very active for the Armada. Here's Tallahassee looking for Dowling. Redmore steps in, plays it to Tunbridge. Tunbridge to Vaccaro. Vaccaro's on side. Reason overrunning. Vaccaro is going to try to go through 2 defenders. Plays it a little bit too far. Only played out as far as Tunbridge. Here's Vaccaro. One-on-one against his defender again. This time he goes towards the end line. Tries to cross it. Coimbra! Jacksonville! Coimbra! In the 42nd minute. His 4th of the season. First of the evening. Makes it 2-0 Jacksonville.
Yeah, just a wonderful run there by Jacksonville. Hey, we said it, those 15 minutes. What are you going to be able to do there to really take control and be assertive here in this match? And sure enough, Jacksonville able to go get that second goal here before halftime, and that could swing the pendulum here. Now, you mentioned it. In their last matchup, down 2-0, Tallahassee still came back and earned a point. So you have to stay on guard. You have to go get more. You never can have enough, right? So 43rd minute, 2-0 Jacksonville. Let's see if they just get this thing into the break and go from there.
Vaccaro multiple times has cut in on his right foot from the side of the field. That time he plays it down the line towards the end line with his left foot, keeps it in. Perfect pass back across the 18-yard box to Coimbra, who was cutting in. Fantastic finish for Eduardo Coimbra, his 4th of the season. Armada lead 2-0.
Jacksonville Armada supporters, Section 904, popping some yellow smoke. Having a good time down there here at Hodges Stadium. If you ever want a different experience for a sporting event, come on out to one of these matchups and go sit near the flag waving, chant screaming, let's just say fun having group that is Section 904, always having a great time.
One of the unique things about soccer as well, I mean, you have fan groups of football teams and basketball teams, but it is nothing like soccer. You know, in Phoenix, we had the Banditos and, you know, the Red Fury, and those guys were fanatics, just like 904 is. And they love the game. They love their team. They're going to come out every opportunity that they can to support the organization, and they play a huge role in the success of the team on the field. A lot of the guys I've talked to over the years just love playing in front of Section 904. Here's Tallahassee. This is Dowling. He's going to play it wide. Thompson back to Dowling. He's going to shoot it, but he scuffs it. Rolls right to Dubrovic. Easy gather for Dubrovic for the Armada. Again, Tallahassee finding some space in that last third of the field to get shots off. They just have not been able to convert on those shots as Dowling harasses Redmore. Plays it back to Dubrovic, to Teddy West. Now up to Tunbridge. Tunbridge keeps possession. Plays it back for Shanley. Shanley's going to play it for Smith. Back to Dubrovic. The Armada look to settle. 45th minute here at Hodges Stadium on the campus of UNF. Jacksonville 2, Tallahassee 0, in an all-important Gulf Coast Conference matchup this Wednesday evening here on the First Coast. Here's Tallahassee. Smith plays it back to Padilla. Looking long over the top. Looking for Thompson. Dubrovic is going to come out and collect. Keep possession of it, make Tallahassee run and make them grab it, tire those legs out even more. I'm going to make that extra 30-yard run. So we'll see 2 minutes will be added on to the end of the first half in injury time. Gamble there by Shanley, playing it back to Dubrovic, who gets it out to Smith very nicely. Coimbra, Thompson, looking for Coimbra. Off of Smith, and that will be an Armada throw-in. Quickly taken by Thompson. Here's Taylor. Plays it through for Thompson. Thompson using his wheels. Down that right side. Looks to cross it. Crosses it. Padilla once again. Last-second intervention. Slides that ball out of play. That will be a late Armada corner kick in injury time here in the first half.
Man, he had all the options too, didn't he? You talk about those guys making a run for him. Angus Taylor, Coimbra, Vaccaro, all options there. I think Reasonover might have even been in the mix. So let's see what Coimbra can do here on this corner from the far side.
Armada going to take their time. As men from the back gather in the box. Tunbridge right in the middle there, trying to make life difficult for Quadio. Ball's long and over the top as Smith's going to try to run it down and keep it in. He can't get there. That's going to be a throw-in for Tallahassee.
Good ball by Coimbra. I mean, that's where you want to put it. You put it in the mixer like that. You give your guys an opportunity to go up there and get ahead on it. So you can't fault the taker there. Just didn't quite have that run.
There's Dowling running into Smith on the near side here. Ball was played out by Smith. It'll be a Tallahassee throw-in. Collision there between the two players. Shaking hands, getting up, getting on with it. It's for an injury time here in the first half. Jacksonville 2, Tallahassee 0.
At that point where the head official is looking at his watch more and more often and whistle to the mouth. And there it is.
That's the end of the first half here at Hodges Stadium on the campus of the University of North Florida here in Jacksonville. Jacksonville 2, Tallahassee 0. Stuart and I will be back with some halftime thoughts in just a few minutes.
I live my life by two absolute truths.
Really? And what are they?
Well, the first truth is the best way to sell your home is on a big corridor website.
Whoa, I'm gonna stop you right there, cowboy. That might have worked in the past, but the market's changed. Right now, you list your home like that, you might be waiting for a while. You need a robust home marketing strategy built by a HomeValue.com expert. Now, that's the best way to sell your home quickly and for the best price.
Well, my life outlook has been shattered.
Well, what's the other truth you live by?
And you won't laugh?
I promise I will not laugh.
I believe rainbows are streams of dandruff left by unicorns.
HomeValue.com.
In the world of real estate,
I live my life by two absolute truths.
In the world of real estate, agents are faced with a critical choice when it comes to choosing their path. Either go with a full commission brokerage with an affordable comp plan but little to no additional support, or pay much higher fees to possibly receive revenue sharing in stock but with moderate support. These are your only options. But for the very few who venture out on their own, risking everything to build their own brokerage, losing access to tools, support, and stock awards that a larger platform can provide. Every agent knows that you must choose wisely, because if you decide down the road that your current brokerage option is not the right fit for your needs, you need to make a costly transition back to square one, resetting caps, forfeiting stock, and revenue share. Brokerages capitalize on this fear to trap agents in the model. This is simply the way it is. This is the way it's always been. But imagine there was a better way. Imagine a brokerage platform that gives agents the flexibility to move between comp plans so that they can spend their entire career in one place while earning stock or recruiting upgrades. Imagine if that brokerage offered solutions that ranged from a 100% comp plan at just $500 per flat with $5,000 cap all the way up to an affiliate brokerage plan where agents can start and run their own independent real estate company all while retaining support, stock, and revenue share. Imagine agents having the best buyer lead generation, CRM, and automated marketing platform to help nurture close buyers. Imagine this brokerage platform puts agents first and focuses on real estate with great training, support, and culture. Imagine if that same brokerage platform recruited for its agents with thousands of dollars marketing after every transaction that closed at no additional cost to the agent. How many more agents could that platform reach? How large could it be? Imagine how much the stock could be worth. Imagine if this auto recruit system included digital marketing, direct mail, email, retargeting, and was all powered by AI automation and all working together so contacts proactively reach out and ask about the opportunity to join. Imagine if agents could earn up to 7 levels of revenue share and stock grants on the agents that the platform recruited for. Imagine how much revenue share agents can earn, how many customers it can serve. Imagine if this brokerage
I live my life by two
In the world of real estate, agents are faced with a critical choice when it comes to choosing their path. Either go with a full commission brokerage with an affordable comp plan but little to no additional support, or pay much higher fees to possibly receive revenue sharing in stock but with moderate support. These are your only options. But for the very few who venture out on their own, risking everything to build their own brokerage, losing access to tools, support, and stock awards that a larger platform can provide, every agent knows that you must choose wisely, because if you decide down the road that your current brokerage option is not the right fit for your needs, you need to make the costly transition back to square one, resetting caps and forfeiting stock and revenue share. Brokerages capitalize on this fear to trap agents in a model. This is simply the way it is. This is the way it's always been. But imagine there was a better way. Imagine a brokerage platform that gives agents the flexibility to move between comp plans so that they can spend their entire career in one place while earning stock and recruiting other agents. Imagine if that brokerage offered solutions that ranged from a 100% comp plan at just $500 per file with a $5,000 cap all the way up to an affiliate brokerage plan where agents can start and run their own independent real estate company all while retaining support, stock, and revenue share. Imagine agents having the best buyer lead generation, CRM, and automated marketing platform to help nurture and close buyers. Imagine this brokerage platform puts agents first and focuses on real estate with great training, support, and culture. Imagine if that same brokerage platform recruited for its agents with thousands of dollars in marketing after every transaction they closed at no additional cost to the agent. How many more agents could that platform reach? How large could it be? Imagine how much the stock could be worth. Imagine if this auto-recruit system included digital marketing, direct mail, email, retargeting, and was all powered by an AI automation engine, all working together so contacts proactively reach out and ask about the opportunity to join. Imagine if agents could earn up to 7 levels of revenue share and stock grants on the agents that the platform recruited for them. Imagine how much revenue share agents could earn, how many customers it could serve. Imagine if this brokerage encouraged its agents to build local relationships for mortgage, title, and other services to make sure their clients get the best service. How many more transactions would they close? How large could that platform grow? Can you imagine the stock value now? Imagine having the flexibility to run your entire business from the palm of your hand so that you can maximize your most valuable asset, your time. Imagine getting in on the ground floor, at the top of a recruiting downline, before the company's gone public, before the market's saturated. Now imagine what your boat's gonna look like. No, a little bigger. There you go. Imagine if those recruiting efforts and stock awards could provide for the agent in life after real estate and ensure a successful retirement. And imagine the entire enterprise is created and backed by a proven industry innovator. Now imagine this platform already exists. Imagine you own this platform. Imagine how large you can grow. How much revenue share you could earn. Just imagine.
It's halftime here at Hodges Stadium on the campus of the University of North Florida here in Jacksonville. Jacksonville Armada 2, Tallahassee SC nothing. Stuart, first half, kind of an even game, I would say, in terms of the chances that both sides created. The Armada took their chances. Tallahassee did not.
Yeah, and I had mentioned it, Stafford Dowling had his hands on his head at one point just because it was such a great opportunity that he had inside the 6. And look, they've had chances. They've been knocking on the door. It's taken a couple last-ditch efforts by Miles Shanley, by Ayrton Redmore, that defense, and to keep Jason Dubrovich getting out there and knocking some balls away to keep Tallahassee off the scoreboard because they have played a strong half. It's just that the goals haven't gone their way. Instead, they go for Jacksonville, which has countered well when they've had to and had made some nice runs. And, it's not their normal game, but it's working so far for Jacksonville. The question is, what can you do in the second 45 minutes to really play the game how you want to play it? And that's always the key for any team and really most any sport is dictating the play the way you want it to go.
Angus Taylor opened up the scoring for the Armada early in the first half with a one-on-one with the keeper. He was able to move around the keeper as he dove and slot it in to give the Armada the 1-0 lead. Eduardo Coimbra would then score the second for the Armada of the evening in the 43rd minute as the Armada closed the half strong, and Coimbra getting his 4th goal of the season, giving the Armada a 2-0 lead. We talked before the game, Stuart, and we talked about how the Armada were going to have to go about playing tonight and how Tallahassee was set up to force the Armada to counter. And, while they don't play that way all the time, they've got 2 very good players in Coimbra and Vaccaro who can be very successful playing that way. And we've seen evidence of that early on in this game this evening.
Yeah, I mean, those are 2 really good players. There's a reason they're back, and I love seeing Coimbra get to go full speed again. Obviously, his season cut short a year ago, so for him to have the opportunity to be back on the pitch with the Armada has been great to see. You love those comeback stories. I don't know if we have a comeback player of the year in the NPSL, but he certainly should be up for it if we do, just because of what he went through last year. He got relegated to the ticket taker. He was still helping the team any way he could. He was out there every game, letting people in at the gate and being part of the squad, being present as he went through that injury. And now he gets rewarded and gets the chance to go out there and show that he is a really, really good player.
Kid loves the game, and that's the one thing I've taken from Eduardo Coimbra is he loves the game and he loves Jacksonville. He loves being around these guys. And for guys like that, you just smile when they come off a hard injury and they're able to produce the way that he has been able to produce this season. But, even before he got hurt, he's been a stalwart for Jacksonville in the lineup. We were talking earlier about Tallahassee and them being kind of dogged and determined, and you mentioned their schedule. Let's go back a little bit further than that, further than the 3 games. Tallahassee on May 20th played Southern States and defeated them 1-0. Southern States, perennial top team in the Gulf Coast Conference. They beat them at home 1-0. Then they tackle New Orleans in Tallahassee, but they play them to a 0-0 draw. Okay, so that's 2 games against top 2 teams in the league, and they've taken 4 points. Next is Southern States. They go down 2-0 on the road, and they're able to claw back 2 goals, including one late in the second half, to come out of Mississippi, Hattiesburg, in the Oaks Training Center with the all-important point. Tonight they have the Armada, 2-time defending champion of the Gulf Coast Conference. And while they're playing the Armada tough, they trail by 2. By no means is this game in the bag whatsoever for the Armada, as we know Tallahassee has come back from deficits before. After us, they go to New Orleans, and they play the Jesters again, a team that they just drew with at home. And we know very well in Jacksonville that New Orleans is a very difficult place to play, as they just defeated the Armada 2-1. So earlier you mentioned that they did something to somebody at the league office. That's 5 games in a row against the top 3 teams in the league, and that is brutal for any team to face. And Tallahassee's handled it very, very well so far.
Anytime you get 4 points out of your 2 matches with Southern States, wow, that'll do it. Yeah, that's a good recipe for success, and certainly we'll see if they're able to fight their way back in the second half of this one. The fans in the stands hoping for not to be the case, but but we'll certainly keep an eye on it and see how this goes.
Tale of two coaches here. Let's put on the coaching caps for a second. If you're Tallahassee, what are you going into the locker room and telling your players at halftime?
One goal at a time. I mean, you got to get one back before you can get two back. So often in this game, you're looking at a scoreboard and you see 2-0. You're like, we got to get 2 goals. No, you got to get 1 goal because you can't get 2 at once. There's no 3-point play in the game of soccer. So hey, you go get that first one, and then see what you can do. So that's really got to be the focus. Is by any means necessary, go get that first goal.
Looking back at the first half, I think that there were at least 4, if not 5, really good chances for Tallahassee to score. So going in at halftime, if you're their head coach, and you go and just stick with the same. We're getting chances, and we are going to start to bury some of those chances. Now, if you're Tommy K for the Armada, you have a very difficult decision to make, I think. Do you go for the 3rd goal, which probably kills off this game, or do you sit back and absorb pressure like they did at times throughout the first half and potentially open yourself up to making this a dogfight till the end? I think it's a very kind of tantalizing decision that Tommy K is going to have to make.
I don't know. I've always been of the thought process that you go and you put the ball in the back of the net as many times as you can. If the way you were doing it in the first half works, and you were able to score in that, keep the aggressive nature going. Go work on your goal differential. Go do whatever you can to get those good vibes going on your team and shoot. You never know what a goal can do for a player's confidence the rest of the way. 2-0 win versus a 4-0 win, not that big of a difference. But if you're talking about a player who needs that boost of morale, that reason to keep giving his 100%, that proof in the pudding to show what I'm doing is working, I think that can make a big difference.
Over the last 2 seasons in watching Tommy K coach teams,
how many cliches did I get in there, by the way? I got a few.
Okay,
I got a few.
They all were good.
Now I want pudding.
I call it cautious aggression.
Yeah.
Tommy K seems to tell his guys at halftime in games that they lead, keep firm at the back. Let's make sure that we're solid there. But then we get a counter attempt, counter numbers, and it's worked for him. 2 straight titles. His style of soccer has been very, very successful in the NPSL. And so, for me, I think he's probably going to go with a little bit more of the same. He was probably worried about how many good chances Tallahassee got in the first half. And so, obviously, they got to tighten up a little bit defensively. But, I would anticipate from what I've seen over the years that they would sit back a little bit more cautiously. But if they get the chance to get Coimbra or Vicara out in space, they're going to see commit numbers and hopefully, turn this game out by getting that 3rd goal.
I'm going to go a little more broad scope here, but how cool is it to see a former player making that transition to that coach's chair on the bench, that spot to really become a leader of men? And we always saw it from Tommy, even when he was on the original NASL Jacksonville Armada side. He was on there for leadership. He didn't play a lot. He didn't get a lot of minutes, but he was certainly doing his part as we get this second half underway. And now he's, the proof is there. He's doing really well as a head coach, and you'll love to see it, as the kids would say.
The guy is Jacksonville.
Yeah,
He loves Jacksonville. He played in Jacksonville. He doesn't want to go anywhere. He likes the organization. Those are the guys you love to see kind of win out and get ahead. And Tommy K has made no bones about it. He loves this team. He loves the organization, and he's been very, very successful in doing it. So, yeah, it's pretty awesome to see from him. It's the Armada attack. Thompson gets the ball taken from him and played out of play. It's going to be an Armada throw-in.
So second half, Jacksonville going left to right now in the blue as you get the throw-in from Thompson, but not able to keep it in bounds is Taylor, and that'll be a goal kick for Tallahassee SC.
Thompson, Montego Bay, Jamaica native, played at Wilmington University, 3 goals and 15 assists as a wingback. Was Rookie of the Year in his conference, first team All-CCAC, committed to the University of South Florida next year, and has played, for the Jamaican national team at the U15, 17, and 20 levels. He's getting an extended run out this evening for the Armada and looks to be a pretty exciting player moving forward. Here is Smith for Tallahassee. Turns it over. Here's Tunbridge, who steps in, wins possession, then loses possession. Nishimura plays it up front. Now we have an all-out attack from Tallahassee. Fitzgerald plays it out wide. That's Thompson. Now this is Dowling. Couple step overs, going to shoot it. Dubrovich down and gets a hand to it. Ball still in play. Cross back across, too far. Reasonover's going to play it out. It's going to be a Tallahassee corner kick. Once again, Tallahassee putting some pressure on the Armada net.
So early here in the second half, Tallahassee with a good opportunity here. The back line there, not sure what they were thinking there as Tallahassee just kind of worked their way in there real quickly like.
Nishimura for the corner for Tallahassee. Lethargic is what it looked like.
You need a little spark here, otherwise they're going to get a goal.
Great ball into the box. Headed back across by Dowling. Reasonover only heads it far. Here comes Dubrovich. Isn't able to collect, but the ref's going to blow the whistle for a foul on Dubrovich. And while Tallahassee didn't put it in the net there, they had chances. Dubrovich saves the day once again for the Armada.
Yeah, he was put in a tough spot there where he could really only get that one hand on it. Hopefully that was just a matter of the other hand being restricted, because be a little cavalier if you went up there with just the one. But Jacksonville bailed out by the foul, and we'll try and clear here.
It's another one of those situations, though, where you're in traffic, you don't know how the ref's going to call that. A tough play for Dubrovich. A little bit fortunate, I think, from his side that he ended up getting that whistle blown. Here's Quadio, the keeper for Tallahassee. Plays it long over the top. Looking for Mahubi. Mahubi plays it back. That's Fitzgerald. He plays it back to Smith. All the way back to the keeper, Quadio, as Coimbra puts pressure. Quadio plays it out long, looking for Dowling. Can't find him. Knocked down. Here's Teddy West for the Armada. Plays it up for Vaccaro. Vaccaro's going to be flagged for offsides, and it will be a Tallahassee free kick.
And we were having that discussion at the break. How do you want this second half to play out? And at least in the first 4 minutes, I think Tallahassee, for them, it's going exactly how they'd like to as they make a run.
There's Dowling down the right side, one-on-one against Redmore. Redmore stands tall. Ball's played out. Crossed off of Shanley for the Armada. That will be another Tallahassee corner kick. Tallahassee, that was Blake getting to that ball and playing it off of Shanley. It will be Nishimura going over to take the corner for Tallahassee.
Yeah, I mean, you can handle this kind of pressure for 5, 10, 15 minutes, but you do not want to be facing this for 45. And if that requires tactical changes, if that requires substitutions, you might have to make those moves.
Nishimura, good ball into the box, headed out by Redmore. Got to get it by that tree, the front post, to have a chance of scoring on the Armada on corners.
Say Redmore or Redwood?
Either one works in that situation.
Okay.
First yellow card of the game issued by the referee to number 15. That's John Fitzgerald for Tallahassee. Not getting out of the way of the quick restart, which was kind of, call that cagey by the Armada. Was able to draw that foul as Thompson using his speed to get around Mahubi, who grabs him, but no whistle. Here's Coimbra, plays it in. Here's Teddy West. Once again, that's Padilla coming over, sliding it out of danger as Tallahassee looks to counter.
Terrific placement of that ball, by the way, to make Quadio really, really second-guess himself. Do I stay? Do I go? Do I stay? Do I go? You could see him just having those conversations in his head, and that's where you want to put it. Unfortunately, not able to get that second touch, but still a nice chance there for Jacksonville.
Smith takes possession for the Armada. Here's West. Plays it back for Shanley. He's going to let it go by him. Plays it back for the keeper, Dubrovich. Play it out wide. It's Redmore.
Yeah, see, that's more of what you want to see from your keeper in this
Redmore
style of
playing
play.
along over the top, looking for Coimbra. Quadio's going to get there. Takes possession, rolls it out. Here comes Tallahassee. Long pass over the top, almost reaching Coimbra. Lesher plays it over the top. This is Mahubi. Beats Shanley. Crosses, center of the box. Redmore there. Clears it out. And that's Thompson who's going to clear it further out for the Armada. Here comes Tallahassee. Fitzgerald is going to play it out wide. Reasonover's going to try to get there first and cannot. Here comes Thompson. Crosses, far post. Can't reach Blake. And Smith is going to shield that ball to try to get it out and does not. That's going to be a Tallahassee throw-in as that ball went off Thompson as Thompson tried to play it out off of the Tallahassee attacking player. Injury for the Armada. Looks like the big man Redmore down on the far side for Jacksonville. Last couple of plays that he's been involved in, he's kind of come up a little bit gimpy as he's kind of hobbled afterwards. Our hope is obviously nothing serious here, that he's just taking a blow and will be able to get up quickly and get back on with it. See the Armada getting people ready down on the sideline. I guess a like-for-like sub might be somebody like a Jed Bowman, who's on the bench for the Armada tonight if they needed to go to the bench at this point in time in the game.
Yeah, you talk about some of those options that Jacksonville has when it comes to making substitutions. You got some pretty veteran guys down there who could come in and contribute in Bowman and Donat Juhasz, two defensive players that can push up a little bit and help with the attack. Both did that very well a year ago as Bowman takes off the training kit. Actually, that's Juhasz, excuse me. When did he go blonde?
It's new. Haven't seen it from Donut until this point.
So it's Donat Juhasz who looks set to come in and take that spot on the back line.
The Torok Hungary native, the 22-year-old.
What was that city again?
Torok Hungary.
Okay. Just wanted to hear you say it again.
There you go. Georgetown College, D2 school in Kentucky. 2 goals, 10 assists last season for Georgetown. Played for the Armada some last season and was impressive when he did play for the Armada as an outside back. So it looks like he's going to come on for Redmore. Juhasz, 6'5". So, like for like substitution here in terms of height. Redmore obviously a little bit thicker than Juhasz is, but Juhasz impressed with his physicality and his ability to get up and down the field on that far left side last season.
And he'll be put right into work here as Tallahassee deep in Jacksonville territory with a throw-in coming.
Here's Lowe, plays it back. Mahubi looking far post, too long. Reasonover trying to beat Thompson to it. Reasonover's going to let it go out of bounds, and he's pushed from behind by Thompson. Looks like it's going to be a free kick for Jacksonville. 55th minute here at Hodges Stadium on the campus of the University of North Florida. Jacksonville 2, Tallahassee 0. The all-important Gulf Coast Conference matchup this evening from the River City. Here's West for Jacksonville. Plays it back for Juhasz, who plays it out, but that only goes as far as Nishimura, who loses it. Taylor checking back, playing good defense. Is able to keep it in play, and here is Vaccaro for the Armada. Vaccaro attacking down the left side. Looks to cross at far post. Coimbra has it come onto his foot. He's going to wait for reinforcements. Coimbra now one-on-one. It's against Smith. Plays it back for Tunbridge. Tunbridge tries to play it into the middle. Knocked out by Tallahassee. Ball goes by Smith, and he's going to have to take stock of where he is and restart. Here's Smith. Dribbling across. Finds Juhasz. Juhasz happy to get up into the play. Plays it out for Reasonover. Reasonover for West. Plays it out for Reasonover.
Everybody but Dubrovich on the Tallahassee side of the field as Shanley now drops it a little.
Juhasz plays it back for Shanley. Here's Smith. Smith plays it for Coimbra. Dances by. Oh, nice Meg on the Tallahassee defender. Coimbra fakes one shot, gets by 2 more, shoots! Lesher steps in for Tallahassee to knock that one away. Mahubi tries to head it out. Thompson goes to play it. Mahubi beats him to it. Thompson, Mahubi battling. Thompson wins that. Here's Smith. Smith on the attack. Plays it by 2 Tallahassee defenders. Crosses far post. Ball played out and cleared by Tallahassee. All the way out to half field where Shanley takes possession.
Really love that heady play there by Smith. He realized that had he put that one pass further, it would have been offside. takes it himself and still creates an opportunity. You like to see that cerebral part of the game.
That's a couple of times tonight where somebody either from the midfield or from the back has kind of danced through the Tallahassee defense to create uncomfortable conditions for them, and it's been successful as they try to play it over the top. Here's Dowling, and Juhaj comes out and plays it off. Looked like it was off Dowling, but it looks like they're going to call it a Tallahassee corner kick off of Juhaj. Nice play by Juhaj to get back. Check Stafford Dowling.
Smart by Tallahassee. You don't know what number 15 is bringing to the table. Put him to the test a little bit. See if he has the pace to keep up with one of your forwards, and he was able to do just that.
Short corner is played. Here's Fitzgerald. Crosses. Runner. Padilla. High and over the goalposts. Over the crossbar. That's going to be a Armada goal kick. Don't want to give them too many of those chances with their big hulking center back coming in, putting a head on it.
One of the top 2-3 chances of the game for them. Just a tremendous opportunity. Beautiful cross. You put it right on your guy, and yeah, there's the flag on that.
Run by Taylor, who was off to the races.
He was about 10 yards behind the line.
Linesman judges correctly that he was offsides. Tallahassee free kick. Yeah, gift opportunity for Tallahassee there for Padilla, who's been good tonight in the back and can't execute the header to pull this to a one-goal game. Here's Vaccaro, acres of space. Loves to run at players. Lesher has his work cut out for him. Vaccaro beats him. Lesher gets his foot on it, though, and is able to play it out of play over the end line. It's going to be an Armada corner kick. One of the things, if you're playing an outside back position, you got Vaccaro running at you, that is torturous all night long. And he doesn't stop. He's like the Energizer Bunny. It's unbelievable stamina that he keeps up throughout the game, and it's non-stop once he gets the ball.
Yeah, it is extremely impressive. And let's see what Jacksonville can do on a corner kick. We haven't had too many of those opportunities for the home side this evening.
Here's the Armada with a corner. Played long for the far post. Quadio comes out and collects. The keeper for Tallahassee will take his time, letting the Lions get upfield.
Yeah, there you go. We always like it when you tell the truth because we know you're not lying.
Here's Fitzgerald quickly for Tallahassee. Plays it over the top, looking for Blake. Blake's going to be able to keep that one in as Juhaj goes over, as get beat. Plays it back for Thompson. Thompson crosses, looking for Dowling. Nice play by Shanley to play that out over the end line. Last minute intervention by Shanley awards Tallahassee another corner kick.
Yeah, he has been crucial for this team. And yet another circumstance there where it looks like the ball's going out and it just dies and allows the attack to continue. And here's yet another corner kick for Tallahassee.
There's Nishimura for Tallahassee. Center of the box. Keeper not coming off of a Tallahassee head. That looks like it's going to be an Armada goal kick. Looked like Padilla and Lowe were both trying to get their heads on it. Padilla and Dowling trying to get their heads on it and couldn't. Only put it past the post. Armada goal kick as they play quickly. Looking long. Taylor. Long run across the field. He and the center back Padilla. Taylor has pace on Padilla. Taylor goes down. No whistle. That's going to be a Tallahassee goal kick.
Yeah, and that's a fair call there. If you're Taylor, you're trying to draw something there at the last second, but well done by Padilla to really stake his claim to that area and do a good job of keeping the ball off of Angus, who's trying to make that run.
Here comes Tallahassee. Ball won by Smith. Coimbra turns it over. Nishimura collects. Here's Smith. Plays it back to Quadio. Quadio in trouble. Plays it up the field, and Lowe touches it forward, only to be intercepted by Juhaj for the Armada. Here's Vaccaro. Tries to play it back for Tunbridge, and does. Tunbridge collects. Plays it out wide. Here's Reasonover. Coimbra.
We had a little switch there between Coimbra and Vaccaro. Vaccaro's come to the near side now. Coimbra over on the left attacking.
Here's Juhaj. Tunbridge. Tries to play it through. Finds
Nice
Reasonover. Reasonover picked by Lesher. Tallahassee looks to play out quickly.
Sometimes those nice simple passes just please the eye, right? You thread the needle between three guys. Sure, nothing comes of it, but that's always a good building block for an attack.
Here's Lusher. Thompson. Nishimura over to Lowe. Tallahassee's leading goal scorer, along with Dowling, both with 4 this season. Here's Mahobi. Plays it down the line. Here's Dowling. Tries to beat Smith. Very nice play defensively by Smith. Thompson plays it over to Shanley. And here come the Armada. Ooh, ball long. Played long. But it's going to be Lesher that heads it back for Tallahassee. Almost beat Lesher there. He would have been off to the races. Duhaj in physical with Blake. Here's Nishimura. Shot off of the head. That's Shanley. It's going to go out of play, and that's going to be a Tallahassee corner kick.
You like that little 3-iron stinger, didn't you? That thing was rising, goes another foot or two. It gets over the head of the midfielder, and Jacksonville's off to the races. So good idea.
There's Nishimura for Tallahassee. Deliveries tonight have been spot on, right into the center of the box, into danger areas, especially the last 2. Short post, cleared out. Here's Lowe, shoots over the crossbar. It's going to be an Armada goal kick. That's the danger man for Tallahassee. He's one of the 2. Lowe just misses. And it will be Dubrovich who will put it back into play for the Armada. 64th minute, 2-0 Jacksonville here at Hodges Stadium in the first post. Coimbra with space. Tries to play it long for Taylor. Can't get it to him. Cut out by Padilla. Now turnover. Bad turnover by Tallahassee. Here's Coimbra. Tries to chip it for Taylor. Can't find him. Teddy West plays it out. Here's Reasonover. Back to West. Looking for a runner. He's got 2. But played into Padilla, who clears it. Tunbridge tries to get to it. There's going to be a whistle for the foul. It's going to be a Tallahassee free kick.
Do we have a name for this rivalry yet, by the way?
I don't think so. Something has to do with I-10, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but so many of these games are on I-10.
Yeah.
I think we should go with the Battle for the Busy Bee. If you're familiar with the Busy Bee.
I am familiar with the Busy Bee.
If anyone who's ever been to Tallahassee, you are familiar.
I did stop there the last time I went to Tallahassee.
Atta baby. The flag is up, by the way, another offside, and Jacksonville will get a chance to reset here. I don't know, battle for the Busy Bee. If you're watching on YouTube and can hear us, please throw in some suggestions as well. Love to hear from the chat. Most nights.
First Coast, capital city, just capital city. Thank you.
We can brainstorm.
Yeah. Smith heads it forward. Here's Thompson getting onto it for Jacksonville. Beats one defender. Using his speed. Here's Taylor. One on the keeper. Gets around him. Nice save by Quadio. It's going to go out of play, and that will be an Armada corner kick.
So if you got a one-on-one scoreboard, it's one for Angus, one for Quadio now, because he was able to score the goal earlier in that one-on-one situation. Here, number 24, the keep, does a great job there. When you're the last man on the island, got to do it. Got to do whatever it takes to stop it. You sure did.
Bardo Coimbra to take the corner for Jacksonville. Another one of those chances where that ball goes in the net. This game's pretty much done and dusted. Here's Coimbra. Center of the box. Quadio comes out and grabs it pretty easily for Tallahassee. Plays it forward.
I like
run by Dowling.
the movement on that ball. You just got to get a little further away from the sixth. I think that's 2 in a row now on that corner opportunity that Quadio's been able to come off his line and come grab it.
Here's Coimbra. One touching it with Tunbridge. Back to
Wasn't
Smith.
sure if that was ever going to stop.
West. Duhaj. Shanley. Armada looked to play forward. Cut out by Nishimura, only as far as Coimbra. He's going to play it all the way back to the keeper Dubrovich. 67th minute. Hodges Stadium, Jacksonville 2, Tallahassee 0. Here's Thompson. Thompson able to find Vaccaro. Here's Vaccaro. 1-on-3, gets through one defender, can't get through another. Looking for a penalty call. The referee says, no, sir. Play on.
They gave him way too much space there, by the way. He's a player that loves to have that little window and just sneak it through there, and they gave him, 5 yards on either side as the flag goes up.
Late flag on the near side from the linesman. Reasonover puts that one in the back of the net, but he's going to be whistled for offsides. Great run by Reasonover there. He believed he was wholeheartedly onside. Be interesting to see a replay of that.
Jacksonville getting set to make 2 more substitutions and 2 more guys. We expected to see at some point in this matchup Jed Bowman and Tyler Richardson down at the touchline ready to come in and make their impact.
Dowling down the line with Smith, tussling. That's been an interesting battle all evening long. The Armada make their 2 changes. First up, Bowman going to be replacing number 21, Richard Thompson. So he'll slot in at right wing back. The other, number 9, that's Tyler Richardson. Richardson coming on for
Angus Taylor.
Angus Taylor.
I kind of expected Coimbra to be that next one off, just watching his runs as Tallahassee gets set to make a substitution as well. Trent Blake coming off for them. It'll be Connor Perry entering the game for the visitors this evening. Just seeing Coimbra making his runs, and Taylor I feel like has had just a little bit more of that pace even in the second half. But Tommy Krzanovich bringing in Tyler Richardson, and we'll see how that affects the shape of that front line for Jacksonville.
Richardson, a youngster, is being asked to play some pretty important minutes down the stretch here for the Armada. And you hate to call it a must-win game, but it's pretty important for the Armada's postseason hopes that they secure these 3 points this evening. Here's Lowe. Richardson puts pressure on him. Lowe moves forward, looks for a pass. Gonna play it too far. It's gonna be out of play, and that's gonna be a Armada goal kick.
First opportunities in there for Jed Bowman making his way into this match. Another one of those Englishmen who had that great opportunity on Monday to take on the folks from the HMS Dauntless. So good to see him getting out there as well. We've been watching Jed Bowman play in Jacksonville for a while now. As here comes Mason Tunbridge, another Englishman.
He tries to chip the keeper. Quayle with an acrobatic save as Tunbridge tries to chip the keeper from 35 yards out. And without the amazing acrobatic save from Quadio, it's a 3-0 game.
Love the idea there from Tunbridge, and what a touch he put on the ball. But even better was the save from Mark Quadio. Now, in the last 5 minutes, he's come up with 2 huge saves for Tallahassee SC. The one-on-one with Angus Taylor, and now the diving acrobatic save, as you said.
Teddy West to take the corner for the Armada. West looks long. Headed out, back to Coimbra. Now Reasonover is going to come onto it, play it forward for Jacksonville. Reasonover plays it out wide, that's West. Plays it back to Reasonover. Vaccaro, Juhaj, Richardson, Vaccaro. Just lays it off softly there, and Tallahassee intercepts. Here's Juhaj.
Trying to bump it to Teddy West, just couldn't get enough on it.
Richardson and Juhaj can't beat the defense. It's Richardson over there for Tallahassee. Thompson over there for Tallahassee. Nishimura tripped up. That's by Tunbridge. Tallahassee will have a free kick. Smith finds Padilla for Tallahassee. Just under 20 minutes left in this one. Tallahassee's looking for 2 goals. Dowling loses it to Shanley. Shanley plays it back for Bowman. Goes only that far for Smith. Smith can't get there. Shanley's able to clear it. Padilla tries to settle for Tallahassee and does. Here's Nishimura. Plays it up top. That's the substitution, Connor Perry. Nishimura steps in. Plays it wide. Around 1 offensive player. That was Fitzgerald. Can't get around the 2nd defensive player for the Armada. Stepped in by Lesher. Plays it across. Here's Lowe. Foraging. Cross from the far side for Tallahassee. Shot just wide. Getting his toe to it. Still looking for the number. That looks like Fitzgerald was the last one to get his foot to it. The ball goes out of play for an Armada goal kick. Armada dodging some bullets here. Just as Tallahassee is in this up and down second half. Substitutions. Coming on for Tallahassee.
Said 13. I don't have a 13. I don't know if the board was wrong, but I was looking at the board as opposed to the player running in. For Jacksonville, though, Gabriel Adriano replacing Eduardo Coimbra. So I was kind of expecting that move to come, and Tommy Krasanovic clearly got my text messages to say, hey, look, make me look good. Make this substitute right now. We'll try and get you.
You're on that first level connection with Tommy.
You know, absolutely. LinkedIn, we're first connections.
There's a coming together of individuals. That's Jed Bowman, who's feisty as ever, coming together with, it looked like, Trice Smith, who believed he did nothing wrong. The Armada substitution, Gabriel Adriano Christensen. Great story, 22-year-old from Denmark. Played at Memphis, 32 games there, 3 goals and 3 assists, but grew up in some pretty prestigious Danish football programs like Aalborg, where he played for their U-19 team before he came over to the States. Bowman clears it off. Looked like Fitzgerald there. It's going to be an Armada throw-in. Bowman throws it in, finds West. Back to Bowman. Headed out by Mahubi. Ball played back in. That's the number I think we're trying to get there. Here's Lowe. Plays it over the top. Alex Smith's going to head it back. Bowman's trying to beat Fitzgerald to the ball and does. Richardson plays it long. That one's going to be too far for Vaccaro, who's going to hustle all the way down there to try to get to it. It's going to be a Tallahassee throw-in from deep in their own end. I couldn't tell if that was 3 or 8 or 7 that came in for Tallahassee on that last substitution. So as soon as we get that number, we'll get it to you.
It was that or one of like 8 other numbers. It's hard to know.
Very difficult to discern their numbers as they are kind of smushed together on the back of their jerseys. Tallahassee tries to clear it. Taylor gets a foot to it. Tallahassee clears it out. Here's Mahubi. Mahubi one-on-one with Gabriel Adriano Christensen. Plays it back. Here's Smith. Tries to play it over the top. Smith wins that header. It's off of the Tallahassee player. That's Mahubi. And out of play. Very athletic play by Smith. To not only win that header, but to win it out off of the defender. In that case, Mahubi. It'll be an Armada throw. As we have a Tallahassee player down on the far side of the field, he gets up, saying he's okay.
Fairly certain our mystery guy is number 8, as I see an 8 on the field for Tallahassee. So that'd be Matt Wallace.
Trying to figure out who he came in for, though.
Great question. I think it was Nishimura, if I'm correct. Thanks for hanging with us here on the stream as we figure out. I'm pretty sure the board it said 12 for 13, and they put 8 instead of, or 13 instead of 8. So I'm going to say that's who it is. And if we see him out there, well, we'll fix it on the fly. We'll fix it in post, as they say. Just edit that out later. 77th minute. Tallahassee, as I mentioned, you need that first goal before you can get the second one. And they've certainly had some more opportunities in the second half. Really, both teams have. This has been an entertaining match to watch, for sure.
Thompson gets subbed out for Tallahassee, and Zuri Robertson, number 3, gets subbed in. Looks like he'll slot in on that right side of the defense. Turnover from the Armada. It will be a Tallahassee free kick after the foul. Play back to Padilla. Call that Wallace. Plays it out wide. This is Lesher. Stepped in by Juhaj. West. Plays it for Reasonover. Taken away by Robertson. Off a Reasonover. That's going to be a Tallahassee throw-in. 77th minute here at Hodges Stadium on the campus of the University of North Florida. Jacksonville 2, Tallahassee 0. Here's Lowe for Tallahassee. Plays it across. This is Lesher. Tries to play it from Mahubi too hard off Mahubi's feet and out of bounds for an Armada throw-in. Tunbridge back for Bowman. Two Englishmen getting together. Richardson. Christensen. Back to Richardson. Richardson on the run. Looks to cross and does. Cleared out by Padilla. Stepped in. That's Tunbridge. Stays with it. Plays it over the end line as his wasn't one of his most deft touches.
The ones before that were great. Let's just think about those, shall we?
That ball goes out of play for a Tallahassee goal kick.
We mentioned the fatigue thing for Tallahassee, obviously playing on Sunday. Jacksonville had a quote-unquote friendly on Monday. Now, that was in 3 30-minute periods with waves of players kind of testing out some formations and things of that sort. So not quite the same as playing a full 90 minutes against a really good team on the road as Tallahassee did. But for Jacksonville, you also have to consider, hey, we're playing on Saturday too here at home. Let's get some of these guys some time on the field. Let's test some things out. Let's make sure we're keeping everybody fresh. That way we still have a good squad to put forward as Bowman clears that one out, and it'll be a throw-in deep in territory for Tallahassee. But, you know, Tommy Krzanovich has certainly thought this through. He knows how to manage the schedule in the NPSL.
Gowan finds Mahubi. Loses possession. Here's Tunbridge. Tunbridge steps on it. Evades one defender. Evades a second. Slides in late on that one.
That's going to be a caution.
Going to see a card on this one. The referee runs over to assess the situation. Late challenge by Tunbridge, who's just hustling for the ball. He's going to get the caution in the 79th minute for his slide tackle near midfield.
That's just one of those frustration fouls. I mean, you lose the ball off your foot, and you feel like you get to it at that last second when, you probably should not be diving in for that one. So, fair play. That is certainly a yellow card earned by Mason Tunbridge.
Late game, tired legs, you evade 3 defenders, and the ball is just that far away from you, and you just come in that little bit late. Tallahassee and Jacksonville are tussling for play on the near side. It's going to be a foul whistled on Gabriel Adriano Christensen on Jacksonville. It'll be a Tallahassee free kick. Physical play starting to pick up in the last 10 minutes or so between the two sides. It's a lot to play for this evening in this contest in Jacksonville.
Yeah, a lot to play for, and as the legs get tired, that will happen. Toby McCallum getting set to come on for Jacksonville, while Tallahassee is set to bring in Bennett Mitchell as their latest sub. So each team bringing in a player here with about 10 minutes to go in regulation, and we'll see who comes off for both sides when we get to that point, trying to see if they make these substitutions now or wait, as our head official has a conversation with one of the Tallahassee players, and they will make these substitutes now. So not surprising, Mason Tunbridge goes and gets a yellow card. You do not want to risk anything, especially kind of the way this season has gone for Jacksonville. They've had some untimely red cards in the U.S. Open Cup and then in the NPSL play as well. So don't risk it. Take off Mason Tunbridge, who put in a terrific 80 minutes of action, and Toby McCallum will be the one who comes on. Meanwhile, for Tallahassee, a very frustrated, I believe that's Fitzgerald.
Yep.
Yeah, he is. He's angry. He understands the fact that there were quite a few missed opportunities for his team this evening, and they've had great opportunities. They just have not been able to find the back of the net, and not happy as he comes off. Tallahassee making another substitution as well. This will be, looks like 14, Kyle Otis, and another one. We got a lot of them.
14 is Otis.
Yeah.
He's coming off with Lesher. The third one was number 11, Diego Azar Grunwald.
For Mahubi.
3 3 subs for Tallahassee as they put the ball back into play. Ball's headed out. It's a race. Robertson for Tallahassee and Vaccaro for Jacksonville. Vaccaro to Smith. Loose touch. Whistle for a foul just outside the box. Provides Tallahassee a good opportunity here in the last 10 minutes to try to get something on net. Sloppy play by Smith. Again, tired legs, hot outside, humid outside. You know, these mistakes, these are the ones that you try to avoid late in games. These are potential game changers.
Jacksonville had a good opportunity from this exact same spot earlier. It was handled easily by Quadio. We'll see which way Tallahassee goes with it. Tallahassee, by the way, out of substitutes, not including their backup keeper.
Trying to figure out who's on this for Tallahassee. Shoots far post, it looks like. Cannot curl it in. Long over the top. That is a goal kick for Jacksonville.
And so much like the Armada, Tallahassee not able to take advantage of what's really a primo spot when you're talking about those set pieces, that one right outside the 18 that gives you the opportunity to either shoot or maybe put in a nice cross, as that was 11, Diego Azar, who just took that.
Tallahassee with a full court press now. Hard, up top, pressing every single player, trying to win possession of that ball. So we're into the last 7+ minutes of play here. Padilla has to run all the way across the field to keep this from going out of bounds. Those extra yards you don't want to put on your legs this late into a game. There's Padilla. Plays it forward.
Because Jacksonville's got some fresh legs in that front group as well, so let's see if he plays on here.
West goes down. No foul there.
There it is.
Yes.
Calls it back.
Referee calls it back, was playing advantage, but the ball went out of play, and Jacksonville will get a free kick as West was taken out near midfield.
And as I was kind of alluding to, I mean, those are some of those fresh legs on that front line for Jacksonville in Tyler Richardson and Christensen, McCallum. You know, all these guys are able to really keep that pressure on Tallahassee when all they want to do is go forward. You have to watch out for Jacksonville still being able to do that as well.
Here's McCallum for Jacksonville. Here's Bowman. Steps on it, plays it back for Christensen. Here's Smith. Bowman loses possession. Smith steps in, plays it off of a Tallahassee player who's going to be whistled for the handball. It's number 7.
Bennett
Mitchell, who just checked into the game, who gets whistled for the handball. It'll be an Armada free kick.
Yeah, like a 50-50 chance of saying just checked into the game with them with so many new players out there. I like that. Those are good odds.
Say whatever, bud. I think he just checked into the game.
I think he just came in.
But there's squish numbers on the back.
That's it.
Here's Christensen. Sends it into the box. Easy head out. Only as far as reason over for the Armada. Plays it out for Vaccaro. Run himself ragged over there on that left side all night tonight.
Well, he's earned the ice bath for sure.
It's West who plays it back for Shanley. Here's Vaccaro. The reason over. That's Richardson. He's going to get whistled for the offsides. Flag on the near side here. Goes up. As many in Tallahassee Gold were calling for that. They get it, and it will be a Tallahassee free kick.
I do find some irony in, as Tallahassee has really pushed forward with the attack, it's almost led to more possession for Jacksonville and played right into their hand, right? That's the kind of, that game that they've wanted to play throughout. And just by that kind of all-out nature of Tallahassee, they're losing their ability to string together the passes, and it's really allowing Jacksonville to do its bread and butter.
Substitution for the Armada coming on, number 22, Gavin Penzone. He's going to come on for Teddy West here late for the Armada. Substitution the 86th minute. Penzone will probably slot right into the midfield there alongside McCallum to try to end this contest.
Both teams using their full complement of outfield players here in this one.
Both teams play on Saturday.
Yeah.
You know, Tallahassee, we've talked about their schedule. You know, Jacksonville, they come right back to Florida Roots on Saturday here. Nice play by Bowman. That ball's off of Bowman, and it will go out for a Tallahassee corner. 87th minute here at Hodges Stadium in Jacksonville. 2-0 Armada trying to hold on to a extremely valuable 3 points in the standings this evening. looks like Azar Grunwald with the corner. Plays it into the heart of the box. Played back into the heart of the box. Headed around. And finally cleared by Juhaj. Off of Vaccaro. Will go out wide for Tallahassee. Tries to play it back in. Off of a head from Tallahassee. All the way down to Dubrovich, the Jacksonville keeper, who will pick it up, take his time, play this ball forward. Ball rolled into McCallum. Played out wide. That's Reasonover. Plays it off of Robertson for Tallahassee. That will be a Jacksonville throw-in as the time ticks away here in North Florida.
Still wouldn't mind another goal. Wouldn't be upset about it.
That would bury this one, I have a feeling. Penzone looking to get his first action is outplayed there by Tallahassee. That being number 6, Kevin Lowe. Been out there all game working hard for Tallahassee in that midfield, looking to create. Long ball. Bowman tries to head it out wide, only heads it as far as the Tallahassee winger. That's Diego Azar Grunwald. Now here's Lowe. Plays it back for Padilla. This is Bennett Mitchell. Plays it in. Ball's headed out. Headed back. Here goes Vaccaro trying to chase Quadio. Quadio gets to it first. McCallum plays it up for Richardson. Richardson's going to play it out wide. Looking for Christensen. Ball's played up. This is Azar Grunwald. Plays it long and over the top, looking for Dowling. Won by Shanley again. Shanley been a stellar presence in the back for the Armada all evening.
That was a very Shanley-esque play right there. Putting his body in the right place to be able to knock that thing away and keep Jacksonville's clean sheet alive here with 1 minute to go in regulation.
Here's Lowe for Tallahassee. To Padilla. Padilla, loose pass, picked off by Juhaj. Penzone looking up and wide, can't get it to Vaccaro. Here's Robertson.
I will say that back line for Tallahassee, very aware of putting Jacksonville's players offside. And that's why that connection didn't work.
Ball played long and over the top. Here's Dowling. Juhaj comes out, closes him down off of Juhaj's foot. Out of play. That's going to be another Tallahassee corner. We are into the 90th minute of play here at Hodges Stadium. Once again, Jacksonville 2, Tallahassee 0. Tallahassee scrambling, trying to get something out of this game. It's going to take kind of that late minute miracle for Tallahassee to get 2 goals to try to come away with something from their trip to Jacksonville. Azar Grunwald to take the corner for Tallahassee. Header, goal! Tallahassee! It looked like Trice Smith, number 5, might have got his head onto it for Tallahassee. Off of the great corner from Azar Grunwald, making this a 2-1 game as we enter injury time at Hodges Stadium. This game just got a whole lot more interesting as we wait to see how much time the ref puts on the clock. An additional 4 minutes of injury time that the Armada are going to have to endure to come away with this 3 points. That dogged, determined Tallahassee mentality at display again. Here's Richardson for the Armada. Tries to play it by the defenders, played out. This is going to be an Armada corner. This will be a time killer at a minimum.
So how many times did we say those corner kicks have been so on point for Tallahassee? They kept throwing them into the exact spot you need to, and finally they're able to break through and get it done there, and they do. By the way, shout out to the visiting supporters, popping smoke as well, yellow and black here at Hodges Stadium. So, hey, it's 2-1, and Jacksonville's got about 3 minutes to hold on as they get set for the corner kick.
Christensen plays it short to McCallum. It's going to be in that corner, tussling. It's going to be a Tallahassee throw-in. They get it up the field quickly. Smith tries to step in, plays it out of bounds. Tallahassee looking to play it quickly again. This is Azar Grunwald. Plays it back all the way to the goal scorer, Smith. To Padilla. Here comes Tallahassee. Looking long. Looking for Dowling. Flicks it on. Too far for Azar Grunwald. That ball is going to be an Armada throw-in. 4 minutes of injury time here at Hodges Stadium as the Armada try to hold on to get all 3 points here in a Gulf Coast Conference tussle with Tallahassee. Ball played down, kept in. Azar Grunwald puts it into the center of the field. Juhaj misses it, but Riesenover is going to get to it for Jacksonville. Here is Vaccaro with space out on the wing. Vaccaro 1-on-2. Decides to play it back for Riesenover. To Vaccaro. Turns again. Plays it back for Riesenover. He's going to try to play it down in that corner. Robertson playing good defense. Off of Riesenover, it's going to be a Tallahassee goal kick. A couple minutes into injury time here at Hodges Stadium. Tight contest, 2-1 in favor of Jacksonville. Tallahassee tries to play it up quickly, putting numbers forward. Long and over the top. Smith heads it down for Jacksonville, but taken by Tallahassee. Here is Bennett Mitchell. And Bowman comes over and plays it off of Mitchell. That's going to be an Armada throw-in late.
And needed, too, for Jacksonville to catch his breath here. Tallahassee players not pleased with the pace, obviously, as any team down one in stoppage time is going to be. But, you know, when you're leading, you earn that right to shave a couple seconds off the clock, and certainly Jacksonville's done that. Bowman throws it deep, and let's see if Tallahassee can put something together.
Here's Quadio for Tallahassee. Plays it out wide. This is Otis. Otis turns it over for Tallahassee. Penzone for the Armada plays it right out of bounds. Will be a Tallahassee throw-in. Misstep there by Penzone. Turns it over. Padilla for Tallahassee. This is Smith. Plays it wide for Azar Grunwald. Tries to play it forward. Bowman's there. Here's Richardson.
Oh.
Nutmegs one defender, and he's off to the races. 1-on-3, plays it down the wing. This is Christensen. Christensen plays it by Dowling, tries to get by him. Crosses in the center! But the linesman had his flag up, the assistant referee, signifying a goal kick, and Tallahassee takes it quickly. Nice run there by Christensen. Here's Robertson for Tallahassee. This is Otis. Looking long, and play it long and over the top, but Smith is going to be there for Jacksonville. Heads it forward, now he's got Richardson. And the referee blows his final whistle. Final score, Jacksonville 2, Tallahassee 1 in a pivotal Gulf Coast Conference matchup this evening from Hodges Stadium in North Florida. Stuart and I will be back to wrap things up in just a few moments.
I live my life by two absolute truths.
Really? And what are they?
Well, the first truth is the best way to sell your home is on a big Cordo website.
Whoa, I'm gonna stop you right there, cowboy. That might have worked in the past, but the market's changed. Right now, you list your home like that, you might be waiting for a while. You need a robust home marketing strategy built by a HomeValue.com expert. Now, that's the best way to sell your home quickly and for the best price.
Well, my life outlook has been shattered.
Well, what's the other truth you live by?
And you won't laugh?
I promise I will not laugh.
I believe rainbows are streams of dandruff left by unicorns.
HomeValue.com.
Back here at Hodges Stadium in Jacksonville, Florida, the final score, Jacksonville Armada 2, Tallahassee FC 1 in an all-important Gulf Coast Conference matchup. Mike Jenkins, Stuart Weber back to wrap this one up. Stuart, this game got off to a pretty quick start as both teams had chances throughout the first half. The Armada taking advantage of two of those chances. as Angus Taylor got his third goal of the year in the 10th minute to put the Armada up 1-0 right before halftime. Eduardo Coimbra would score for the Armada in the 42nd minute to put them up 2-0. But as we talked about at halftime and we talked about throughout the game, Tallahassee is a dogged and determined bunch, and we knew that this game was going to be a dogfight in the second half. And Tallahassee having multiple chances in the second half to bring it to a one-goal game or even to tie it up if they took advantage of some of those chances. They just weren't able to get all the way back. They tightened it up in the 90th minute when Trice Smith scored on a header off a corner for Tallahassee, but they just ran out of time and weren't able to equalize, giving the Armada the 2-1 victory. As we look at tonight's game, Stuart, and as we kind of look forward to Saturday evening as well, what are some of the things that Tommy Krzanovich can take out of tonight's game moving forward for the Armada?
I mean, you know your front line, right? In the games that are going to matter this year, you know who you're going to put up top. And I feel like that trio of Vaccaro, Coimbra, and Angus Taylor proved it here tonight. Now, it was a different sort of game where you weren't playing really the offense that you would want to. A lot more reactionary in that first half. But I do like that trio up top. But we've seen so often in this league, in the NPSL, depth is going to be so important with how many matches they play and losing players left and right when they got to go back to college later in the season. So you need to make sure you have other options as well, right? So I think you learned a lot about some of your top line players, and you learned that Tallahassee's for real this year. Now, Jacksonville is done in the regular season with Tallahassee. It is now up to both teams to see if they end up in the top four and meet again perhaps down the line.
You know, one of the things I think we've got spoiled with over the years here in Jacksonville is our team defensively plays very well. And, over the years we had Elijah Howe at center back, who kind of was a stalwart back there. And you knew that you were in good hands. And I'd like to kind of give a shout out to Miles Shanley tonight, because I thought this was his best game of the season so far that I've seen, in which he had this imperial presence on the back line, to where anything that kind of came his way, he cleaned up in a very kind of Howe-like fashion.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, those are lessons learned from Elijah and Ethan Dudley a year ago, and those two have certainly passed that stuff on. And that's what you want to see in a program, right? The returning players learn from the veterans who have left and then take up that mantle the next year. And so you'd like to think that he learned quite a bit from his elder statesman a year ago, and hey, can you pass that along to the guys who are joining you down on the field right now? And that's what you want to see, a great effort there by Shanley in the middle. You feel good with him out there, You feel strong, you feel confident that things are going to go your way, and that if you need that guy to make that last touch, he's going to do it.
As we look at tonight's contest and moving forward, tonight was the first game in a two-game homestand. 3 of the next 4, actually, for the Armada that are at home. Next up for the boys in blue will be a match against Florida Roots FC on Saturday, June 17th here at Hodges Stadium. Kickoff scheduled for 7 p.m. The Armada went down to Panama City earlier this year and beat Florida Roots 7-2. But as of late, Florida Roots has been playing some pretty good soccer, dropping a couple of one-goal contests against a few of the better teams in our conference. So that will be a all-important match for the Armada to take 3 points off of, because the Roots haven't won a game yet this year, and it seems like as the conference is tight as it is this year, whoever's going to drop points to somebody like Florida Roots probably won't be in one of the top 2 seeds in the conference.
Yeah, no doubt. And, hey, you get 1 win, that's great. You get 2 wins, it's a winning streak. You got to get that winning streak going, and you got to build that momentum towards the important part of the season, which is the postseason. First, you got to make it there, but then you got to make sure you're rolling as you get there.
So our next game here is Saturday night. We'll see you on Saturday night at 7 p.m. For Stuart Weber. I'm Mike Jenkins as we leave you the final score here from Hodges Stadium. Jacksonville Armada 2 and Tallahassee FC 1. Thanks for joining us tonight for this match online. We appreciate you.